Well, Apple unveiled the redesigned iPhone today, and among the many new gadgets, this event actually took place at Apple's new campus, the Steve Jobs Theater. And as the company looked ahead to the next generation of products, CEO Tim Cook looked back, paying tribute to Apple's founder, Steve Jobs.
There's not a day that goes by that we don't think about him. Memories have especially come rushing back as we prepared for today and this event. It's taken some time, but we can now reflect on him with joy instead of sadness. Steve's spirit and timeless philosophy on life will always be the DNA of Apple. Steve's vision and passion live on here at Apple Park and everywhere in Apple. Today and always, we honor him.
Executive editor from CNET, Roger Cheng, joins me now from Cupertino, California to discuss all things tech from the actual Apple event, and Ashley Esqueda. She's the CNET senior editor. She joins us from Los Angeles. All right, I want to start with you, Ashley. Based on Apple's announcement, do you think that this new iPhone 8 and the X are going to actually live up to the hype?
I think that Apple has done a very good job of showing us two very different devices for two very different types of people. So I think so far, so good for Apple.
Roger, what makes this new model so much different than the older models?
Well, the iPhone X or iPhone 10 in particular has a new design. It uses facial recognition, so it removes the home button, which is a big change for a lot of users. They're going to have to basically relearn how to use the iPhone, and that is going to be the question whether or not people are willing to do that. That said, it's a $1,000 phone, so this is going to be the status symbol for a lot of people. If they want to be the ones with the latest and greatest from Apple, they're going to have to fork over a lot of money for this phone.
$1,000 status symbol. Ashley, were there any surprises from Apple's announcement that you weren't expecting?
You know, the one announcement not iPhone related that I was really pleasantly surprised by was Apple's announcement that if you buy a high-def movie or if you've bought a high-def movie, it will be upgraded to 4K for free. So that was a really nice, pleasant surprise.
We don't get that often. What would you say, though, Roger? What are the major changes that you see with a smartwatch?
Well, the smartwatch, the Apple Watch Series 3, finally gets an LTE radio, so basically it can work by itself. You don't have to carry your iPhone around to pair with your Apple Watch. You can stream music, you can run apps all on your Apple Watch. They showed off a demonstration of one of the executive's daughters on a boat. She was only talking with her Apple Watch. So that's great. Basically, Apple has cut the strings on the Apple Watch, and so it's untethered and it's got some new level of flexibility and freedom there.
You talk about the flexibility and freedom, Roger. Ashley, it seems that there's a lot of features that focus on health, heart, and fitness. Can you explain what those features are?
One of the big things that Apple is doing with what it calls mHealth is it's giving information to organizations like Stanford to research about heart health. And so one of the features that a lot of people use, apparently, according to the fine folks at Apple, one of the features they use the most is heart rate monitoring. So one of these new features on Apple Watch Series 3 is going to be if your Apple Watch detects that your heart rate is high and you are not working out, it will actually tell you that. So maybe if you're having an anxiety attack, or maybe if you are having a high heart rate for no reason and you need to see a doctor for that, it's a really interesting development for the Apple Watch.
And Roger, you can now make phone calls off of your Apple Watch, so are we now going to have to listen to other people's phone conversations via the watch?
Yeah, I can only imagine what the calls are going to be like when I'm on a subway with a bunch of Apple Watch Series 3 owners. But yeah, basically the pitch has always been you can take calls hands-free without pulling your iPhone out of your pocket, but now you don't even need your iPhone. So basically a little watch on your wrist.
A little watch on your wrist. Ashley, when you talk about the Apple's HomePod smart speakers, that wasn't really mentioned in this announcement. What did you make of that?
I think that Apple probably is saving HomePod for an event later this year as it gets closer to the launch time for HomePod. And also, I would imagine they're also going to be rolling out a lot more information and software updates for HomeKit, which is their smart home software that ties everything together. So I expect and predict HomePod to have sort of its own event later this year.
Wow, that's its own event. We look forward to that unveiling. Roger, before I let you go, you're actually at Apple's new campus in Cupertino. What's Apple Park like?
Sorry, I've lost the audio. I couldn't quite catch that question.
You know, Roger, I know you can't hear me. It's pretty loud out there, but I was curious about the new campus in Cupertino. What's Apple Park like?
Yeah, the new campus is it's not quite open yet. Folks are not working there. I think they're coming in later this year. But the Steve Jobs Theater was sort of their coming out moment for the new campus. And so it's, as you can imagine, with something that's as immaculately designed as Apple products, every detail has been taken care of here at this venue.
Of his appreciation.
Roger, we'll let you
would not be a singular product.
We'll let you get back to the party there. Roger Cheng and Ashley Esqueda, thank you both for joining us.
Thanks.